Hello. Let's tune in for a moment. Take a breath in together, breathing into the heart, the lungs, the womb, the low belly. And exhale, sigh it out. Thank you for watching today. This video is part of the All of Me project, which I've started to just share different facets of my story and really bring forward all of who I am. So thank you for being interested in who I am and watching this video. Today I'm talking about my voice, my throat, my song, and I'm really excited to talk about it. Yeah, a lot of these videos have been wanting to come through, and this topic of my voice feels just so potent. So, my voice. I have always been someone who uses my voice actively. In high school, I was on the speech and debate team, and I did this program called Youth in Government, where we debate bills and things, and I ran for youth governor, and I have always been just like a speaker, like into talking, and I was also in my youth group, and I was like the co-leader of it, and we'd like put on a sermon at the end of the year, and I'd always get up and talk, and I've loved speaking, and I've always been a writer and written poetry and love speaking my own poetry, and just, you know, talking to friends, sharing stories, and also using my voice as like a means to get what I want, and sometimes in a positive way of just opening up my throat chakra, but sometimes in a more manipulative way of using my words to just serve my own needs in the moment. And by my parents I was called manipulative, and just, you know, that I would I would twist the truth around, all these things that I think weren't true, but just showing that my voice has always been something I've used for speaking, but never for singing, until I went abroad to Peru and Bolivia. Before that, I'd used it for singing a little bit for fun with friends, and, you know, I'd always enjoyed that feeling of singing. In high school, my friend Jessica and I, we'd sing Taylor Swift together, and she's like a trained singer and guitarist. But I had this pattern of attracting singer friends into my life. And when I was in Peru, I was volunteering at a house for children, and there was this man named Nino Mirones who came to teach the kids singing and to teach them acting and the arts and things like that. And he made his career off of traveling around and doing this, and then also being like a singer storyteller, and I'd seen him perform, and he was like probably like in his 50s or so, and so I knew that I enjoyed this feeling of singing, but I was really shy about it because I had been told that I was tone deaf before, and told just to not sing, to save our ears, like don't even try. But the feeling of singing was just so sensational, just felt so like everything I craved was there in the moment when I sang. And so when I was at this house for children, I asked Nino to give me some guitar lessons because there was a spare guitar, and so I had the guitar, and he had the guitar, and we were, you know, like playing an A minor and a C, and he, at one point, as I was strumming these chords, he was like, "Oh, like sing with me," and I was like, "Sing with you?" Like, I thought this was just a guitar lesson, and but he invited me to sing, and so the first song I ever sang on guitar it's called "Oh Ma de Ma, Madre de Todas las Cosas," and it's basically like, "Oh Ma de Ma, Madre de Todas las Cosas, Oh Ma de Ma, Madre de Todas las Cosas, Oh Ma de Ma, Madre de Todas las Cosas," or something like that. And so when he said sing, I remember that moment really clearly, and I sort of timidly was like, oh, Madema, and just like barely, just like to myself. And Nino, I asked him a little bit about his journey and his career, and he said, oh, I started playing guitar when I was in my 40s, and he was now in his 50s, and I was just like stunned. He was like, yeah, this is new to me too, and yeah, I'm really feeling that. Yeah, he was like, this is new to me too, and but now I don't know, I'm not in touch with him now, but that's how he was making his living, off of doing that. And just hearing him say that he had started in his 40s and was now in his 50s, and just letting that music and story flow through him was so inspiring to me, because I was 18, 19. I was 18, and I think I was about to turn 19. And it was just like, wow, if he can do that, then I can totally learn to sing, and I can give myself permission to sing, because so much of my relationship with my voice, it has been about giving myself permission to sing, to speak, to share, to state my boundaries. All of that comes from the voice. So after that experience with Nino, there's also a woman at the orphanage named Naomi, and she and I would play ukulele together, and sort of like a similar thing. She'd be like, Anita, like, canta, canta, and I'd sort of be like, okay, I'll sit singing a little. But those seeds were planted there. And then when I came back, I went to school in Boulder, Colorado, and I took an Indian raga and devotional singing class with a professor named Chaitanya Kabir. And that introduced me to the concept of singing as devotion. Singing for the sheer ecstasy and joy it brings, singing for that feeling of connecting with spirit one-on-one, and connecting to just like the life force that's flowing through us, connecting with each other, as an offering. Singing as an offering, my voice as an offering to the divine. My voice is an offering to the earth. My voice is an offering to my fellow humans. And so that class was so magical, because we just got lost in the sound and in the different ragas, the different notes and the ways they fit together, and just like the sounds of them, like like just all the ways they interlocked. And so that helped me release some layers of shame around what my voice sounded like, or if I was singing off key, and just kind of surrender to that sound. And also, around the same time, I met one of my best friends, Nicole, and the first day we met, we did eye gazing. We just like stared into each other's eyes, because the school we went to was Naropa, and it made sense to do that there. And so we, like as part of a class assignment, we're just staring into each other's eyes for a while, and like we both started crying, and I will never forget that day or that moment, or just how connected I felt to her right away. And like she knew my story and I knew hers, and it just really created a strong bond with us. And so I remember going to her room like one of the first nights we were friends, and she is a singer as well, among other things, but also a singer, and she was playing guitar, and as we were like rocking back and forth and humming, I was like trying so hard to just like hit the notes, and like so anxious and like and straining and everything. And at one point she was like, Anna, just listen. And I was like, okay, I'll listen. And so I listened, and just allowing myself to listen to her helped me tune into how the sensations felt in my own voice and my own throat, and how they felt coming out. And that listening has been really key on my journey with my voice and my spirituality, my sexuality, with everything, my emotions. That listening requires letting go, an unclenching of expectation, a releasing of control. Listening. And as she said that, it reminded me of when I had been in Peru living with families in Nacionqueros, and I didn't speak Quechua, and they spoke a bit of Spanish, and so Spanish was the common language that we'd kind of speak, but mainly just Quechua. And so living with these families for very brief periods of time, it allowed me to learn how to communicate without a common verbal language, and making sounds and just sort of like singing and sounding was a way we did that. And I feel like I had begun to learn to listen living in Peru, and then when Nicole said that, it was like a deep reminder of, yeah, listen. And so since that time at Naropa, I've done just a lot of listening into my inner world and listening into what feels right to bring out into this world that we share, and listening as I learn to get more into my musicality. And so that year in Europa was a lot of me like learning more about how to play guitar and learning more about how my voice sounds and how to sing. And that journey has really just continued and deepened, and I have taken singing lessons and a few guitar lessons, and mainly just learned from friends and partners and from myself, like exploring. And the element of singing that I've had with my voice, it has also become one of sounding and toning recently, and exploring with just sound. I think, yeah, okay, so a big, another opener of my voice was a year and a half ago or so, when I was in, like, near San Diego area. I sat with ayahuasca with a mentor of mine, Brianna, and that experience, the way that I processed it while I was in it was through sound, was through just like howling and really just letting my sound come out and letting myself be heard, because so much of my journey with singing has been this terror of being heard. Like, if someone hears me, they're gonna know that I'm bad and I'm gonna be outed because I'm not hitting the notes, and like, oh my gosh, they're gonna think that I think I sound good, but I know I don't, and so I don't want to be heard by them. And so it was like a lot of this like game of like, I just want to sing, but I don't want to be heard. But like, of course I want to be heard. We all want to be heard and seen in some capacity to connect. And so that journey was like, the medicine was just like, like coming through my voice. And so it was wild and powerful and intense and lots of waves, but like coming out of that and sitting around the fire and being back as Anna, I was like, yeah, a big message is that I am a lot. I have a lot to share, and I am loud and I'm big, and I'm meant to be seen and heard. And so that, like, what woke up within me then has also continued to carry me. And since then, all of my journeys with plant medicine have definitely involved sound, and just like most recently I sat with mushrooms like a few weeks ago, and there was just so much sounding and music. Like, I have this shaker, and just shaking with my shaker, and like feeling the rhythms, and remembering my musicality, and remembering my rhythm. I mean, we all have a heartbeat, and we all move, and we all have a rhythm. That was another thing of being told I don't have rhythm. And so, yeah, and told the movement will be another topic for sure. But yeah, just with the voice. So my relationship now is like, I work with my voice to move emotions through my body. So, and to move physical sensations. So say if I have a headache, and I'll like put my hands on my head, and then I'll be like, and I'll just feel the sensation kind of moving through me, and just sound whatever that sensation is, and let myself be guided where it wants to go. And same thing, and my belly hurts or whatever, just nourishing myself with my own sound. And I love this because it's like a reclaiming of my voice and a reclaiming of my melody, and yeah, a reprogramming that we can all sing. Some people come in to this life with more of a sort of a predisposition with gifts, a predisposition to certain gifts that they just are, they bloom into from a young age onward, and that there's so much power and beauty in that, in those gifts that we naturally are attuned to. And there's also the remembrance that we all have voices, and it's an outlet of sound, and that we can all cultivate our relationship with our voice to be able to soothe ourselves. Because also like certain sounds that we can make, or just a hum, is really soothing to our nervous system. And so that's something I've been working with Maria Stark. I did a retreat with her and another woman, Aya Iwasaki, and I'm doing class with her online, and she's a singer and does womb work and such, and we talk about like healing, just like soothing, self-soothing, like learning to self-soothe and making sounds like shh or or like shh, just like little sounds that nourish us, and really feeling those sensations in our body. And so yeah, so also, okay, there's some more to say. Relationship with my voice. Yeah, so singing and listening. And it's interesting, as someone who, I came into this life with one of my predispositions was for writing and speaking and sharing my voice in that way. And I have gravitated towards writing since I was a kid, but not towards singing, and have lots of experiences of being shut down. And growing up in a family where I remember my grandma Ruth saying, oh, well, just like everyone said, we're non-singers. Like, we don't sing. Like, the Hall family doesn't sing. The Wolfley family doesn't sing. We're not singers. We are not singers. We don't sing. And also, my grandma, I remember her saying, oh, like, when I like rocked you to sleep as a baby, you would start sobbing at the sound of my voice. And so, like, just those things, like, we internalize them as kids. However, yeah, so coming in with this gift of writing, the written word, but not as much of singing, but loving to sing, I've started songwriting, and it's been, yeah, it's so fun and such a journey, and such a, like, with songwriting, and like with music in general, that is number one, the biggest place where my like inner critic comes up, just of like what the literal voice in my head, like, what in you thinks you could possibly do this? Like, why are you singing? Did you forget you're from a family of non-singers? Like, just those like things that come up, like, and it's so, hard to not like to not compare, so my current process with my voice is like continuing to listen and feel into those like pockets of my voice, and just continuing to sing for me, and offering my voice as medicine when it wants to come forward in song form, free of judgment, and remembering how I have felt when I've heard anyone sing. It's so vulnerable. It's so vulnerable to share our voice through singing. It feels like I'm falling, and like an orgasm, and like I'm just being seen, and it's my instrument, and I can't say it's just out of tune, or I like, oh, I didn't bring my guitar today. It's like, no, this is my voice. And so when it comes forward in song form, yeah, it is vulnerable. And so it's also just so beautiful and exciting, and I'm so in the process of my own journey with song, but I know I want to keep singing, and keep listening and learning from my beautiful friends who are singers and who have, who have come into this life with this gift of song, and who have honed their craft and dedicated more time to it than me. And I also want, so this business that I'm birthing called Earth Song Birthing, where I want to work with people one-on-one and in groups, starting with women. And I want to work around just the voice womb connection specifically, and just do the practices that I've been doing of toning and sounding, and have this business idea and intention is about allowing women to tune into their own song within them through physical sound and movement, and feeling our emotions and learning to tone, to hum, to sound our emotions through us, and also to birth whatever song it is that they are wanting to bring into the world, as I'm in my own process of continuously birthing my song. And that's part of me sharing my story. The idea is we all have a story, we all have a song, we all have something to offer. And so that's what this business idea is about. But it's coming from the medicine that I have dosed myself with, which is my own voice, in all the different ways and all the things that have come up around that. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm excited and grateful. And I could keep talking about my voice for a long time, but I'm really humbled and grateful for just all the people I've brought into my life, and crossed paths with, who have witnessed me on my journey of my voice. Yeah, really grateful. So thank you for listening to my voice today, to my song, and I'm sending you all love and soothing sound today. Hi, I also wanted to mention that I'm opening up a coaching business called Earth Song Birthing, and I have 2 spaces opening up as of May 2020, and we'll have more going into the summer. And to start out, I'm offering free gift sessions to any women and female ID people who want to sign up. And these gift sessions are a way for us to see if we're a good fit for each other, see if we want to work together, and there are no strings attached. I want to be able to create community with other women and female ID people. I'm looking for tribe and connection and people who are invested in their own healing. And so in these sessions, we'll connect to our wombs and our voices and our bodies and work on bringing forward parts of our truth that wants to come out into the space and the world. So if you want to work with me, you can check out my website. There's a link down below. The website is called earthsongbirthing.com, and I look forward to connecting.